Hello, welcome guys. Welcome to Scratch. I'll be your tutor and guide for Introduction to Scratch interface. Not just to Introduction to Scratch interface, but throughout the whole course, throughout the whole module, I'll be your tutor. My name is Abraham, and as my colleague has said, he said Scratch, you can basically use Scratch for programming, you can use it for creating games, for creating stories, and so many other things like that. As much as you can think, and as much as you are creative enough, as much as you take your time in practicing and in doing so many things that you can actually think of. Do you understand? And just sit back and relax and feel free. You enjoy yourself. Now, Scratch is divided into three parts. We have the left hand side panel, the middle panel, and the right hand side panel. I will be starting from the right hand side panel. At the right hand side panel, this particular place is called the main stage, where you see these cards. This card standing is called the main stage, while this part and some icons you see is still part of what the right hand side panel, which means the right hand side panel is divided into two, which is the upper panel and the lower panel of the right hand side part of the Scratch interface. And right here we have an icon here. You see it displays go. We have here two stops. Although these two, they have their functions there. We have this. It's not writing any name, but by the time you click on it, look at what it's going to show. It's going to enlarge the middle panel. By the time you click on these two, it's going to restore everything back to normal. By the time you click on the third one, which is the full screen control, it's going to bring the main stage area and enlarge it for you to be able to perform or see the effect of the code and the program you have written so far. Are you getting me? So just feel free and listen very carefully. So by the time, if you want to go back to where you're coming from, just click on this place again, this particular icon, full screen control. Then it will take you back to the main default stage. Now, coming to the lower panel, we have the sprite here, which is what the name of this particular character. You can edit it and rename it as what? As cat. Just type cat and press enter on your keyboard, and then the name is there, from sprite 1 to cat. This particular arrow that you're looking at is showing the x and y coordinates, that is the position of this character on the main stage. We have x equals 14, y is minus 9. If I try to click and drag it up here, x equals 5 now, y equals 80. So just pay attention and you get what I'm trying to say. Do you understand? So if you look at these two, you can see show. What it's trying to show you is that this character is currently displaying. This is show, this is hide. If I click on this, the character is hidden already. But if I go back and click this one back again, it indicates that the character has appeared back. And this is the size. The size indicates the size of this particular character. And if I try to, you can increase the size to anything that you want. Let me try 200 first, so that you can see. Can you see how big it is? But we want the default size, which is 100. That is the size that is going to make sense at the stage here. Do you understand? You can also reduce it to 50 as you wish. Depends on what you are using it for, depends on the game you are creating, and depends on the stories or anything you are trying to use Scratch programming for. And this is the direction. The direction shows the direction. The director is talking about the direction of this particular cat, that is our character, our sprite. If you call it sprite or character, or the name that you give to it, is still the same thing that you are referring to. So to access this place, you can basically just click on it. Then you see this particular icon showing like a walk clock, indicating the direction of the cat. The cat is facing this forward direction. That is why you see the arrow here. By the time you try to drag it, can you see? You drag it, then you see the cat is facing this side. And why is it facing upside down? Why? That's because you have not changed the settings here. This is all around. That is, you are telling the cat or the sprite or your character to move all around like that. If I put it here, it's facing down. But if I try to change it to this one, left and right, look at the way it's going to change. Can you see? Irrespective of where the arrow is facing, it's going only to turn to the left hand side, that is the backward side, and also the forward side, the left and the right. Even if you put the arrow up, it means you are currently on left and right functions here under the direction. And if you change it here to, it's going to face forward. But the third one indicates do not rotate. If you click on it first and you try to rotate this arrow here, Nothing will happen to what? To your character. It won't move to any part, but it is better we leave it at what? Left to right. Though the default is the all around, but nevertheless, let's leave it at what? Left to right. Then you can basically click outside also. So this is your cart, which means you can delete by pressing what? This particular icon here. This is a delete key. Delete symbol. If you press delete here now, it's going to delete, and then by the time you press delete like this, nothing is showing again. So to bring it back, it will take us to what? This particular place, this particular icon, that is choose a sprite, and we have choose a sprite, paint, surprise, and then upload sprite. That is, you can upload sprite by yourself. You can add a surprise to your sprite. You can paint a sprite or a character by yourself, and then you can choose a sprite. So let us go back and choose back our cart again. And by the time you see the display, choose a sprite. It displays with different characters, starting from animals to people, fantasy. It classified it based on what? Based on their categories, where they belong to. The cat belongs to what? Animalia family, animal family. So you click on animals, and then you select what's our cat. Do you understand? So then the cat has appeared again. So what do we do next? You go to the next icon, that is choose a backdrop. The backdrop means the background for this main stage. The current background that we have is white. I hope I'm not boring you with what I'm saying. I just want you to get yourself familiarized with it. So the background is white. You can basically select it the way we have chosen the sprite to. All the backgrounds has been classified into different parts. You can just click and go to anyone that you want, starting from fantasy to music to sport to outdoors to indoors to space, underwater, and patterns, basically. And you can select any one of your choice. But right now, we are the introduction to the interface. We are not going to choose anyone for now. Just come back here and click on the back button, and then you'll be back to this place. Also, as we have different options here, we also have under this place too. Can you see the different options that we have? Just exactly what we have under choose a sprite icon. We have also add a backdrop icon. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Also, I think I've explained everything. The last thing on the right hand side panel is this particular stage. By the time you click on it, it will take you to something around this place. It will change the functions of this left hand side panel, but we are not going there now. We discuss that in our next lecture. So thanks for listening. I'll see you at the next lecture.